Long ago, in a beautiful forest, there lived a kind, gentle rabbit. His name was SASA. He lived near a green meadow surrounded by tall trees, flowers, and a small river. SASA was not a powerful animal and he was not very big, but he had a very kind heart. He always thought about the happiness of others and he was ready to help anyone who needed his help. Sasa had three close friends who lived in the same forest. One was an otter, one was a jackal, and the other was a monkey. Although they were different animals, they lived like good friends. They often met together, talked about their lives, and shared food with one another. Sasa was the leader of the group because he was wise and kind. His friends respected him and often listened to his advice. One evening, the four friends were sitting together under a large tree. The sky was turning orange as the sun began to disappear behind the mountains. They were talking about the next day. Sasa looked at the sky and said, "Tomorrow is a special day. It is a day when people should think about kindness and generosity. We should all prepare some food and give it to anyone who is hungry." The three friends agreed with Sasa. The otter said, "I will find some fish from the river." The jackal said, "I will look for some food in the forest." The monkey said, "I will collect fruits from the trees." Sasa smiled and said, "Good, let us prepare whatever we can. But remember, the most important thing is not how much food we give. What matters is the kindness in our hearts." The next morning, the three animals went out to find food. The otter went to the river and caught several fish. He was very happy with what he had found. The jackal searched around the forest and found some delicious food. The monkey climbed several tall trees and collected many sweet fruits. Each animal carefully kept the food that he had collected because he wanted to give it to someone who was hungry. Sasa also wanted to collect food. He looked around the forest, but he could not find anything suitable. He searched near the trees and walked through the grass. He looked beside the river and under the bushes, but there was nothing that he could offer to a hungry person. Sasa became a little worried. He thought, "My friends have found food to give, but I have nothing." Then Sasa stopped and thought deeply. Suddenly, he remembered something important. I have nothing to give, he thought, but I still have my own body. If a hungry person comes to me, I can give myself as food. Sasa did not think about his own safety. He only thought about helping someone who was hungry. He believed that a gift was valuable when it was given with completely honest heart. Later that day, the four friends met again. The otter brought his fish. The jackal brought the food he had found. The monkey brought his fruits. Sasa came with nothing. His friends looked at him with concern. The monkey asked, Sasa, where is your food? Sasa smiled gently and replied, I could not find anything, but do not worry. If someone who is truly hungry comes to us, I will give him what I have. The three friends did not completely understand what Sasa meant. Then they thought perhaps he had found some food somewhere else. But Sasa was serious. He had already made a decision in his heart. He was ready to make the greatest sacrifice he could make for another living being. He did not want praise or reward. He simply wanted to help someone who needed food. Meanwhile, a powerful heavenly being was watching the four friends. He wanted to discover whether their kindness was real. He decided to test them. He changed his appearance and came down to the forest as a poor, hungry traveler. His clothes were old and dusty, and he looked tired after a long journey. He walked slowly through the forest, pretending that he had not eaten anything for a long time. The traveler first met the otter. The otter felt sorry for him and immediately gave him the fish he had collected. Please take these, he said. You must have very hungry. The traveler thanked him and continued walking. Soon he met the jackal. The jackal also gave him the food he had found. Then he met the monkey, who happily offered him the fruits he had collected. Finally, the traveler came to Sasa. He looked at the rabbit and said, I am very hungry. I have traveled a long way, but I have not found anything to eat. Sasa looked at the hungry traveler with compassion. He knew that the traveler needed food. He also knew that he had nothing to give him, but he remembered his promise. Sasa said, My friend, I have no food to give you. I have no fruits, fish, or meat, but I have something else. Please prepare a fire and cook me. I will give my own body so that you will not remain hungry. The traveler was surprised. He looked at the small rabbit and could hardly believe what he had heard. The traveler asked, "Are you really willing to do this?" Sasa calmly answered, "Yes, I have decided to give myself freely. A gift should not be given because we expect something in return. If someone is hungry and I can help him, I should help him." His three friends became very emotional. They understood that Sasa was completely serious. The traveler prepared a fire. Sasa looked at it without fear. He took a deep breath and closed his eyes for a moment. Then he jumped toward the fire, ready to make the greatest sacrifice. But something wonderful happened. The fire did not hurt him. Instead, Sasa found himself standing safely beside the fire. The poor traveler suddenly changed. His old clothes disappeared, and he appeared as a magnificent heavenly being surrounded by brilliant light. The four animals were amazed. Sasa looked at him with wonder. The heavenly being said, "Sasa, I came here to test your generosity. Your heart is pure and your kindness is greater than the kindness of many people." The heavenly being continued, "You were ready to give your own life for someone who was hungry. You did not think about wealth, comfort, or reward. You only thought about helping another living being. Your generosity is truly great." Sasa listened quietly. He did not feel proud. He was simply happy that the traveler was no longer hungry. The heavenly being wanted everyone to remember Sasa's kindness. He touched the moon and placed the image of a rabbit upon it. From that day onward, people could look at the full moon and remember the generous rabbit who was willing to give everything he had to help another person. Sasa returned to his peaceful life in the forest with his three friends. They continued to help one another and share what they had. The four friends understood that kindness was not about having a lot of money or many possessions. Even a small gift could make someone happy when it was given with love. The story of Sasa teaches us a powerful lesson. We do not need to be rich or powerful to be generous. We can help others with the things we already have. Sometimes we can give food. Sometimes we can give our time. Sometimes we can simply listen to someone who is sad. True generosity comes from heart. There is another important lesson in Sasa's story. When we help someone, we should not always expect a reward. We should help because it is the right thing to do. A kind action may seem small at the time, but it can leave a great impression on another person's heart. Kindness can travel from one person to another, just like a small light spreading through darkness. So, whenever you see the bright full moon in the night sky, remember the little rabbit named Sasa. He was a small, but his heart was great. He had very little to give, yet he was ready to give everything. His story reminds us the greatest treasure is not what we have in our hands, but the kindness we carry in our hearts. And that is the story of Sasa, the generous rabbit. Thank you for listening to this wonderful story and practicing English with me. If you enjoy the story and want to improve your English through more interesting stories, please subscribe to English Paper, like this video, and share it with your friends. Keep listening, keep learning, keep improving your English. See you in the next story here on English Paper. Bye for now.